What's something they don't know about you? Because I know they know you sing.
Oh, okay.
You know, they know about you and your girl, the daughters. So they just say something maybe you haven't really put out there. I think that's something I like to, you know, when I bring people on, I want them to see like a different side.
Something I haven't I mean, some people know, but a lot of people don't. I was actually born deaf.
Oh, okay.
And I couldn't hear for 2 years until I was 2. And then my mom put me under this surgery, and it was like, okay, he's either never going to be able to like hear sounds ever again.
Honestly, I feel rusty, bro, because I haven't really done a podcast in a minute.
I haven't talked on a mic for a minute either.
Yeah. So it's very different from where you sing, right?
Yeah.
Like it being in the booth and actually doing stuff like this or YouTube. How do you differentiate like the actual differences?
In being in like a studio booth and then being like recording a podcast?
Yeah. Or just a YouTube video, period. Because I know you and your girl are barely getting like into it, right?
Yeah, it's different. I mean, it's definitely different. It's two different vibes. Like I don't know. I like recording music at night, and then most of the time we're recording YouTube videos during the day and stuff. So
yeah.
It's a whole different vibe. You got to be in the right vibe to make music, for sure.
Yeah. And what have people been saying, like the reaction with your guys' like YouTube journey so far?
I mean, they like it. They fall in love with the girls, our daughters. So I mean, they like it. We don't really put the girls on the channel a lot just because there's so much negativity in YouTube.
Yeah,
so we just we kind of just take it into our own hands. But I mean, the reactions are good. I mean, when we started, there was a buzz. Like we were buzzing. Like we were getting more views than our subscriber count and stuff, and it was doing really good. But now that YouTube is like kind of slowing down, it's so oversaturated.
It really is. You got to really, it's not even that it's saturated. I just think people's attention span is like very short right now.
Very short.
So it's almost like you got to really grasp their attention the first 5 minutes. So that's what we're going to do right now. You're going to have to tell me like something they don't know about young Reece.
Okay.
So this is what we're going to start the actual video with.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start it. I don't know. What's
something they don't know about you? Because I know they know you sing.
Oh, okay.
You know, they know about you and your girl, the daughters. So they just say something maybe you haven't really put out there. I think that's something I like to, you know, when I bring people on, I want them to see like a different side. Because, you know, obviously, you know, in this kind of industry, in this kind of field, like a lot of people judge you with certain stuff and they don't really know you, you know. Like if you meet them in person, they'll be like, wow, that guy's dope, you know.
Facts.
So what can you put out there, you think?
Something I haven't I mean, some people know, but a lot of people don't. I was actually born deaf.
Oh, okay.
And I couldn't hear for 2 years until I was 2. And then my mom put me under this surgery, and it was like, okay, he's either never going to be able to like hear sounds ever again, or he's going to be able to talk and hear clearly after the surgery.
So it was like no talking and no hearing?
Yeah. Like I wasn't, like I would move to the feel of the bass. So like when we were in car rides, I would like move just because I would hear the music, but I never heard the words or nothing. I feel like that's why I'm so that's why I can sing, and that's why I'm so like particular with what music that I listen to, and I can listen to really like everything. I feel like that's why I'm like destined to do music, if that makes sense.
That's fire, man. I like that because I feel like you could tie that into your music a lot, man. I feel like that's dope. I mean, if you haven't put it out there, you got to do it now.
A lot of people haven't known that.
Yeah, that's
or don't even know that.
I like that. And then also, too, it's crazy because one of my cousins can't talk or hear, but they did mention that they wanted to do a surgery, but he was just like a little insecure about doing it. He was already a little bit older, but they said it could potentially at least let him like hear, not talk. Yeah. So that's crazy how that happened for you, man. So
yeah, I'm blessed for sure.
Shout out to your mom and you know, her like, you know, pushing through for that. And then now you're doing the music. So let's just get into that for those that don't know young Reece. I'm gonna tag all your Instagram handles. I'm gonna you know, you just dropped the album too, so I'm gonna tag that in the links. And then I'll tag your girl stuff too. We're probably gonna do like a couples one.
Yeah, that'd
be
dope.
That way, you know, I know you do come. So next time my wife, I mean, we're just busy, just like I was telling you before we did the episode. Facts. But just let them know a little bit about your music, like the genre, like what your music really brings. Because, you know, sometimes to me, like when I listen to music, I like the message being delivered, not so much of the beat. You know, sometimes people sing and it's just more so the beat.
Yeah.
And then, you know, even when you see him perform live, you're like, okay, I couldn't really understand what he was saying.
Oh, yeah, facts.
So just explain for those that don't know, those that haven't tuned in.
I definitely would say my stuff is more on the R&B side, but I have like a more melodic voice. So it's not like I'm singing like Alicia Keys shit. I'm singing like it's it's more just like feel good, just to where I can sing over an up-tempo beat, but I can still put a vibe to it.
Okay.
And I mean, all my songs have stories behind them, so you could go listen to them. It's never just like jibber jabber, just going through saying stupid shit.
Which I think that's like missing nowadays with music. You know, like a lot of people, it's a little bit of soul in there too, I guess. With R&B and soul, they're kind of similar. So
yeah,
I like how my wife's like a huge R&B fan in general, like 2000. So I feel like that's when music was actually really good.
And there's not a lot of R&B artists nowadays. Like,
there isn't,
especially male R&B artists, and so that's why I like take pride in what I do, because I could always just get in the booth and rap about a bunch of stupid shit that I'm not about.
Yeah, for
or
sure.
I can sing about what I actually feel and stuff. So
that's cool. I think that's gonna relate more, and I think at the end, like I told you in this kind of thing, it's music or YouTube in general. Like people want to relate to, you know. So,
100%.
What's your guys' YouTube content actually consist of? Because I'm gonna tag that channel here too for people to check you guys out.
It's literally just a family channel. Like we just do vlogs, stupid challenges, pranks. We do like hauls, like me reacting to her, like rating her outfits or whatever, and it's really just like literally daily vlogs, and then they get to see like the rest of our family, Jay Cook, Jers.
Okay.
All them.
That's dope. So just kind of like going back a little bit, of course, that's the stuff you guys got going on now. So just like, I mean, born and raised in Arizona.
Born and raised in Phoenix.
There. So how was that, man, growing up? You know, I know you mentioned your brother Jay Cook. That's it? No other siblings?
Yeah, we have a younger sister, Jersey, as well.
Okay.
She does YouTube as well.
Okay.
But I mean, she's 4 years younger than me, so she's an 04 baby. But growing up, I mean, I wouldn't sit here and say like we struggled hella, but maybe like my mom just like hit it very like really, really well, because we didn't live in a really good neighborhood. Like we grew up on the south side. And then like when we turned 8, I believe, she moved us to this city called Tolleson. And it was just to get us out of the south side, because if we would have grew up there like the rest of our life, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
for sure.
It was pretty violent like that.
Yeah, South Phoenix is definitely one of the worst parts in Arizona. But we moved to Tolleson, and then Tolleson started getting bad like 3 years after we were there, and then we moved over to like more west, Avondale. And that's where like I graduated in Avondale, and Avondale isn't like a Scottsdale or, you know, Paradise Valley, but it's definitely a better part than Phoenix or South Phoenix or Tolleson. So definitely blessed to do that. But I know like when we grew up, we didn't really have a lot, and so I feel like that's why it's so important to my family for us to succeed. Because if not, then I feel like when our bank account gets to a certain point, like some other people will look at it like, bro, you're good. But then I'll look at it like, no, like I'm not satisfied. And sometimes not to look at it like that, but at the end of the day, like if you want to survive, you're going to survive off being successful and pushing yourself. So,
and it's crazy because I mean, you know, it's once you start talking to people that aren't necessarily like doing what they want to do, and they're not really getting like, you know, on the financial side, they ain't really there yet. You know, they will tell you like, bro, you're good, right? But I mean, to us, we're go-getters, you know, so we're always going to be pushing on to the next thing. We don't really kick our feet up, you know?
Yeah, there's a certain type of person. Like some people can just live being regular. Yeah. And some people can just live, you know, going paycheck to paycheck. And at the end of the day, like, it's not bad to do that.
Yeah.
But some other people feel more hungry and feel like, okay, I want better for myself. I want to do this. But
yeah, I feel like also too, I mean, sometimes people, like, you're only as good as people put you out to be. So that's why you got to exceed the expectation and just kind of reach our full potential too. And then get into other avenues. Like I told you, you know, we moved 2 years ago. I literally stopped doing something I was doing for like over 10 years, bro. So it was scary because I'm like, shit. But this is really the test here. Like, we'll see if I'm a real entrepreneur or not, you know, but we still made stuff happen. Things have been going better for us out here. You guys ever thought about moving this way, or you're just staying in Arizona for sure?
Dude, I would love to move over here, but I know Raylene won't be able to go without her family.
Okay. She's close to her family?
Yeah, she's super close to her. I mean, I'm super close to my family too, but she's like really close. Like, we wake up 8 in the morning talking to her mom and sister every single morning.
Okay. Big family?
Yeah, for sure. like, I don't know. Who knows? In a year or two, she might have a change of thought and like really feel like, okay, let's explore something else. Like I moved out here. I lived in North Hollywood with my brother. I stayed on his couch with him and Popcorn? Yeah, so him and Popcorn were roommates. I stayed on their couch. They let me stay there for free. They were like, just work on your music, all that shit. And that's how I met a lot of people. But I definitely...
What did that teach you there? Like now moving away from home and being there like on the couch.
Dude, I love it. I've always been an independent person to where like I've never had to depend on anybody to where like I can get it on my own if I need to.
Yeah.
LA is a whole different vibe. Like I even tell her like when we were on the way over here, I'm just like LA is just a different vibe. Like I feel in work mode. And when I was living out here, it was just every day I was up 8 a.m., boom, getting shit done until 3 a.m. And then I got up again. And I feel like LA is just, you never know who you're sitting in, the room with.
That's what I've learned, I think, in this time. Just, you meet somebody just so random. And then I'm telling you, even the haircut stuff, I came in with the idea that I'm not doing it anymore. But then that's the shit that's been opening doors for me still, just because I'm in the right rooms. I cut a couple of people that are like, in the studio with the artists and stuff like that, management groups, stuff like that. So it's cool because I see that lifestyle. I see what goes into it, but you could build on it, man. I mean, once you have those relationships, eventually they're gonna, you do all these other things that we've talked about that you want to do. For and sure. Aside from the music, and then all these people you meet in the music support you. So speaking of that, like what is that you want to do aside from the music? Like any other projects maybe that aren't out there yet that you want to jump into, things that catch your attention aside from the music?
I'm like really, really focused on music right now to the point where I feel like if I start something else, I'm going to get distracted and not, put my all into music. And so I'm really leaving it up to Raylene if she, when she wants to, buckle down and really like start a business. And like I'm here like 100%, like I help her with everything to the point where like she's not going to be doing it alone, to where it'll probably end up being my business as well.
Yeah,
but
that's just how it is.
Are you guys married? Working on no, not yet. We're definitely working on something for her. We're just she just doesn't want to do anything that she's not like, genuinely in love with.
For sure. That's what it comes down to. And I've told my wife that all the time, like if you don't like it, something's got to change,
100%.
Whether the people that are doing it with you or just yourself, like you got to really be like invested, do something you like, and enjoy the process too. Cause a lot of people just want the end result. They don't really enjoy the journey so much, but it's part of it at the end of the day, So, she's learned a lot just having her own line. And then, of course, she still gets opportunities with YouTube. She's the OG really in the YouTube world. So that's always going to be there. But she has seen it change like a lot. Like when she was telling me, you got to join. I was just kind of like stubborn about it. I didn't really want to, because I wanted her to do her thing. I wanted me to do my thing. I never really wanted that whole like, oh, well, you're only doing this because you're a girl kind of thing. So, I mean, now I'm a little more open to it, but I know I got my own stuff to back me up.
I feel like that's the hardest part with some people is like when you meet someone and they have numbers and you don't, it's hard. It's hard to like, because with my brother, like my brother had numbers before me.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not going to sit here and say like, I didn't gain my numbers off him or I didn't gain my numbers off certain people, which I did. And I feel like that's the beauty of social media is like you're not growing just off yourself. Like you can grow off yourself, cool. It's gonna take hella long, or you can just not necessarily steal a fan base, but like you're just gaining them as well as.
But you built your people regardless. It's like you could have all those followers, but you couldn't have done shit. So it's good that you still did something, and then they're like, oh shit, this guy's dope. I'm gonna follow him, follow his music, whatever. So the same thing with me. I mean. Like, it's true, like my wife has always been big time. That did help me like get that audience and to watch and stuff. But then a lot of them stuck around for other reasons, And aside from that, like the barber shit, I was already established, and then after that we got married. She quit her job when we got married. So that's when she did full-time YouTube. She was only doing part-time YouTube. So, I mean, we were there from, the gutter until like finally, she started to kind of like be fully invested in it, just like we said.
Is she still doing YouTube right now?
Yeah, but it's more so like now that we're parents, it became more of like the daily vlog mom life. So it transitioned from the makeup into that. But now that she has her line, I'm like, you got to bring the makeup back. Now it's going to hit and make sense. You're promoting your own stuff.
More sales and stuff.
You know, so now it's more so like you got to be the one reaching out to people so they could use your stuff. So it's crazy, bro. It's just there's always room to grow.
Raylene is so into makeup though. That's why it's like I'm like, bro, if you're into makeup, you're good at doing your own makeup. You know what products you like.
Yeah,
let's run it.
It's just it's a different breed though, like product development.
Way different breed. I'm already knowing.
So you know, like it's crazy because my wife's doing some new stuff coming soon, but now she has like a bigger team and like the better direction. Like a year ago, bro, she was up to like 2 a.m. doing her own designs and shit. So, you know, you got to be willing to put in that work and to see it through. Cause a lot of days she was just like, damn, this shit's hard, you know? And then you get your samples and you don't like them and the color's wrong and all this other shit. And it's a lot of work. So the funny thing is I was already doing that on a smaller scale with my brand is Sharp and Dapper, like the grooming line, which is basically a barbershop. It has a men's grooming line. So I've been through stages of like just rebuilding everything all over again, something not working, you know, maybe you drop some stuff, they didn't do that well. I mean, this is all part of it, you know? Nice. So seeing what your crowd likes. But you know, eventually you start building like that experience and then it starts to become easier for you, you know? So that's just what it takes to build anything, you know? So how's the music doing right now? Like, how's the feedback with the new album? I know we mentioned that you dropped it.
It's actually doing really good. Like, I honestly was shocked. Like, not like to where I thought it was going to do bad, but it's doing way better than what I thought.
Right.
How good I thought it was going to do.
What was that process like time-wise? Like, how many months or like year or two?
Bro, this whole album is like songs that were recorded like over a year and a half ago. And like, I have so much new shit. There's just so much like paperwork that goes into when you're signed.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a distro deal through Warner Records, and so that's who I dropped this album through.
Okay.
And so now I fulfill my contract with them. Now I'm moving around with French. So like I signed to French. I signed to him in August last year, but I haven't put anything out with him because I hadn't fulfilled my contract with Warner yet. But now I fulfilled it with Warner. So now I'm moving around with French. So now I'm going to really start turning up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And that's all the new music that's like more updated. And
you're a little more limited under a contract, obviously, but...
With Warner, yes. With French, no. Like, French is giving me, like I had when I signed my contract with Warner, like, I told them exactly what I wanted. Like, I got what I wanted. Same with French, like, and more. So, like, French is really just... the ball's in my court. Like, he's just here to like co-sign me.
Yeah, support you and stuff. That's dope. It definitely depends who you're under. You don't have your own label though?
No.
Is that like a goal eventually? You want to be able to like, I mean, what's the end goal really like with the music?
I definitely like, I wouldn't say I want my own label. I do want to say like, I would love to like A&R and send people to the right places because I have an ear for music and like, I listen to everything, country, like, country to except for rock, bro. I don't do rock, but
yeah, the rock I don't really listen to. Country, my wife does like it. I just haven't really like.
I love country, bro, because they're the best storytellers.
Yeah, for sure. That's what she tells me. Like, it's beautiful music. But you know, I'm open to like listening to really anything as long as I hear the message and it sounds good. Like, I'm like, cool, this is dope, you know.
But I wouldn't say label. Like, I would just say like my goal is to just be able to have a platform to where I can just, you know, send people to labels and get them signed. And
that's cool.
The goal is not necessarily always to get signed. Every person is different. Every person wants different things. But if you're like a sitting duck on social media, then sign to a label. Or if it's a good situation like French Montana or Drake or some people like that want to sign you, I mean, that's just going to help you at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. And some of the guys that I cut, they're in the OVO circle too. Around Post Malone as well. So I kind of have met them. They're cool peoples too. And they kind of just tell me like the process because they are the ones doing the beats and all this other stuff. So, I mean, it's a big thing. How long does it really take to like create just a song or more so like were you building the album throughout? Like I'm going to add this song or you were doing this song and stuff like that?
Every song is different, bro. Like one song will take 30 minutes to make. One song will take 5 hours to make. I guess it's just really just figuring out a story to tell, figuring out what the beat makes you feel like, and then just writing away.
That's cool, man.
It's not like, not every record like I can do in 10 minutes. Not every record I can do in 5 hours. Some records will take 3 days.
Shoot, yeah. And I always like to kind of show people the process of stuff, just because they, you know, people, like I said, you know, they like to judge certain things, and they don't really understand what it's like to be there writing it and then on top of that, like recording it, putting it together, brainstorming all these ideas.
Right.
I mean, have you dealt with like criticism like that? I know you guys said that you guys do the YouTube thing too, or even the music. Like, how do you kind of like navigate through that?
I mean, every day, bro. But like, I'm different than everybody, bro, because I know people, like a lot of these influencers will be like reading comments and then like responding or
Talking back.
And like at the end of the day, like it's cool to like react or not react, but like address your hate comments sometimes. But I feel like I've always been just like, I don't care. I'm going to do me at the end of the day. I really don't care what anybody thinks.
Right.
And it sounds so cliche, but that's legit how I live by. Like, I really don't care.
Right.
And so when, like, it'll be every blue moon that I'll go into our comments and read like a few, but I'll never sit there and just scroll.
Yeah, be invested in it.
Because I feel like that'll just, like, scrolling on those hate comments is what's going to make you, you know, think more and think that you're not enough or feel like they are really entitled to say anything. Because at the end of the day, bro, these people really don't know you. Like, they're here to watch you and feel like they know you, but I'll sit here and, like, it's cool if I lose a couple fans over this, but fans don't really know their influencers, like, that they really like. They don't.
Yeah, that's something we've like dealt with throughout the years, depending what it is. My wife, especially more. I was always a little bit more like low key, and then once I started showing a little bit more. But it's funny because when I wasn't in the picture as much, they were like, "Oh, he doesn't like you," you know. So then she started getting in her head a little bit about it, but she's learned to grow in that aspect where she just does her thing now and doesn't really care. I mean, you obviously gotta monitor stuff and all that. That's just normal, but I mean, we don't let it define like who we are or what we do next. You know what I mean? Right. So that's cool. So what about the daughters? I know you mentioned them. How old are they?
3 and 5.
3 and 5. Okay.
Yeah, Mila and Illy.
How are they? Like, that's not too big of like an age gap. So what's it like right now with a 3 and a 5-year-old?
I mean, 2 girls. You could just imagine.
I have one and I'm already losing it.
Sassy as hell, and they just definitely like. There will be them days where they just don't care. You tell them something, and they're just like, "Okay, I'm waking up, and I'm gonna do what I want to do." And then our 5-year-old like will tell our 3-year-old like, literally, just try and boss her around, and then get the 3-year-old in trouble.
Yeah,
and
she soaks up a lot of what the 5-year-old does too, right? Because my son is 3, and he's already like pretty bright in some areas. My daughter's, I mean, she's only 2, but we think like she's his age, and she's really not. She's still that 1 year makes a big difference.
Yeah, but I mean. They love YouTube. Like, our 5-year-old, she wants to start an ASMR channel. So,
oh wow!
But
what does she want to do though with the ASMR?
Just candy.
Oh, really? Like opening stuff?
Yeah, just opening and like just a super clear camera with the microphone and just eating, because that's all they watch. They watch the ASMR stuff, and like they'd rather watch YouTube than movies. And so I'm like,
yeah, that's the new wave right now.
Yeah. I'm not going to like force them to watch movies if they don't want to watch movies, because you could filter stuff on YouTube. So
yeah. What year were you born?
1999.
99. Okay. So then you were in like early 2000s. Just because it's changed so much, man. So like I was going to ask you that, like how do you see it now? Because I mean, you know, I have little ones. So yeah, you see them on the YouTube and all this stuff. Now it's scary because you don't really know what they're watching. Because sometimes even the kids' YouTube, I'm like, what the hell is that?
Oh yeah, it's weird, bro. Like, it's weird.
They pick up on that stuff too, because then they start doing these little things and you're like, where'd you get that from? You know?
Exactly. I definitely, like, compared to my childhood, like, we weren't worried about sitting on our phones, or we were out like until street lights turned on or whatever, and just running around ding dong ditching and stuff like that. But
yeah.
I like it, but I don't, because I'd rather them be inside the house with us, knowing that they're safe, rather than just like being so bored that we're just like, go run around the neighborhood with your friends.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy if you think about it, because like we didn't have anything else to do but to run around with the neighbors, bro, and stuff like that. I was in an apartment complex. My wife was too at one point, so we kind of know what that's like. And then we grew up in rough areas too, bro, and we were still out, you know? So that's the crazy part. But now it's like, if you were to say like, yeah, go ahead and go outside, you wouldn't do it, you know?
Exactly.
Like our parents did or whatever. So It's changed a lot, man. But I think it's good that you kind of have that background. We have that background because then we get to teach them that as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's a cool thing. But I mean, parenting in general, man, it ain't really easy.
It's not easy. No, bro. I mean, you're a parent, so you know how it is, and schedule wise and stuff like that. Like, they like to be on routines.
Yeah, for sure. They're used to certain things,
especially in this lifestyle. You don't have a 9 to 5, so you don't have a set schedule to where you're like, okay, I go in every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 6. It's not like that. So they have to like adapt when you adapt, and it's like, okay, we're going, so you're going.
Yeah, exactly. How do you guys balance that? Like, what's your guys' day to day right now? For example, you guys kind of have some structure with the routine. Yeah. You guys have help, like. We
definitely have help. Like, all their grandparents are in Arizona, like literally 15, 20 minutes away from us. Okay. So, and they love watching them. So if we need to like up and go somewhere really quick, and like we know the girls are gonna have short attention spans and don't want to be there, they love being at their grandparents. And
that's
so
cool.
Like, I mean, if they're there, like, it sounds bad, but say they go over there 3 days a week for 4 hours, they're not like, they're gonna miss us, but they're having fun. They don't care about that. And
yeah, grandparents love spoiling them too.
Yeah, and so I mean, they definitely do good. They've been to a couple of my studio sessions. They've been to photo shoots and stuff like that, and they love it. And so I have a show in less than a month out in Phoenix, and they're gonna come to my show.
And how have you been doing the shows a lot?
No, like I took a break from doing shows just because I wanted to put this album out first, because at the end of the day, like, I don't have a lot of music out. Like,
yeah, you just kind of got started with it, right?
Yeah, and so I wanted people to be able to like know my music, and it's not like they're just listening to like unreleased music the whole show. And so,
how is it, man? Are you kind of like, you get a little bit of stage fright the times you've done it, or you're just
no? It was weird, bro. Like, the very first time I performed, I was like, I'm born to do this shit. Like,
yeah, it was really good.
I know how to talk on the mic. It felt like natural holding the mic. Like,
yeah,
smooth.
I mean, even now you're speaking well. Like, I know you were mentioning to me, I don't know if we brought it up, but you have a podcast with your brother too. But you guys are, what's the hardest thing there? Just getting together and doing it, or I know you guys were getting a good reaction out of it too.
Bro, we were, and I mean, we still are, and like, we're teasing it a little bit. We're coming back with it, like, within these next couple months. We're just like trying to figure out a day in the week to where we both are going to be open. And just like I was saying, like, we don't have set schedules, so we have like stuff come up last minute.
Oh yeah, that's just the way this
like, we planned this podcast 3 days ago or whatever.
Yeah. And it was like, shit, we're not even sure if it's gonna happen, because we were all kind of like, you're out here for work. I had just got back last night. My wife's got stuff. We're actually going on a trip in 2 days, so it was just like a lot going on. But I appreciate you coming through. And taking the time driving. I know, like, everything's always a sacrifice, you know what I mean? Anything you do. So the only way things happen is if we execute it. So it's good that you guys are doing that. This shit isn't easy though, like putting it together. I did a whole season 1, but the reason I did season 1 is so when those breaks came, people didn't really like tell me like, hey, like, what's going on. I did season 1. I uploaded every single week, Sunday at 7 p.m. That was it. So people knew every Sunday at 7 they have to tune in. So maybe that can help you. Maybe setting a day where you guys just drop for sure, so that way you guys are both committed to going.
Facts.
And then season 2 has been a little bit harder because it's funny because I did 14 episodes season 1 every single week, and then season 2 started and I hit 7 episodes in like almost 3 weeks. So
and who hosts with you?
Just me, myself, and I was just bringing the people in. And I was on a roll every single week. People were lined up, and then I had a time where I had 3 more to do, but then they fell out, and then I went through this slump right now. So this is my first one. Well, actually, I have one that I already uploaded, but I did it back at my barbershop. So I thought it was dope with the chairs and 2 guys we were talking. But then there's a second one. So I'm sure people will appreciate being back, but it's just hard aligning things because everybody's busy.
That'll be fire, bro, because I saw a podcast. I think LeBron James is on it.
Yeah, that's basically what it looks like. That's basically what it looks like. Yeah. So everybody was saying like it looks, and my shop is nice. It's all white. I got lights like these on the mirrors, so we dimmed everything. So it's gonna be pretty dope. I'm saying it is because by the time that people see this, it's already gonna be uploaded. Yeah. But it was just a short one just to get in there and do it again. But I like it, man. Eventually, this is what got me consistent on YouTube though. Yeah. Because the YouTube, I didn't, kind of what you were saying about your girl, like doing something that she truly is behind. Like, I didn't want to be on YouTube just uploading vlogs because that wasn't really me. Right. I'd rather do something that delivers a message or something I actually enjoy doing, which was this, brought it to life, the setup season 2 is a lot bigger and better. But that's just like anything, you know, we just
It's
continue
hard,
to
like,
elevate it.
It's hard trying to elevate stuff too, because it's like the first time you want to like start shit the way you want it to finish.
Right,
like,
right.
Say you start a clothing line, you want to start it off with like top notch quality. So it's not like, and like some people don't have the money to do it, but if you have the money to do it, start your shit off exactly how you want to be, and don't be cheap with it. And then the next drop, you got to think, okay, fuck, how can I change this fabric to get it better? But it's already top notch. So it's like,
yeah. That's how it is. I'm gonna give you some stuff right now in a bit.
Oh yeah, I definitely fuck with this stuff.
Yeah, what size are you?
It's like a small me. It just depends on how your shit fits. But
it's kind of fitted.
Sorry to cut you off, but I saw kids like modeling in your stuff too.
Okay, yeah. We're gonna give you guys some stuff in a bit. We'll give you guys a little tour and some sizes. But that's the spring stuff actually. But see, like in the clothing game, it's so doing Act of Faith, everything cut and sew is a lot harder because you got to come correct that next time. So everything that people left in the first time, I jotted it down. And then now it's like, okay, like how can we improve this? The way it washes, the material. So I've studied like literally everything. At this point, I feel like I can manufacture for people for real. Like now if like, let's say you wanted to start a line, you hit me up and I just get everything for you. You don't got to worry about it. I just give you the samples and you're like, okay, I like this. Let's do it. Boom. So I feel like I can even do that. That's how much I've studied on it. But it's important to do that, to do your homework, so that way the shit's right. So we're dropping some stuff soon. That collection that you're mentioning, we dropped it in the wintertime just because everything was so delayed, being in the middle of a pandemic still. So
I'm already knowing.
Yeah, so it's still really tailored to like the spring summer. So I think right now we're gonna just reboot it with whatever else we're dropping. Yeah. And then that way people are like, okay, I can see how we could rock this now, you know. But there's some stuff. Either way, I'm gonna get you maybe like something. What colors do you like?
Or anything.
Whatever, right? Put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you were mentioning you wanted to start something. You have a clothing line already or no?
Yeah, so I have, it's called Boredom Kills. But it's with like my two other boys. Well, one of my boys, we went to college together and dropped out at the same time.
No way.
And then the other one is like his homie, but like we're close now. But yeah, I mean it's on the streetwear side. Oversized, super good. Like we get our stuff all cut and sewed in China too. So
that's cool.
We know how it was when like all this shit is happening in the world right now, and our shit is just getting back and back and back.
Yeah, it's backed up.
Delayed stuff. But I think the most expensive part when it comes down to like clothing is samples.
For sure.
Just especially, I don't know how, if you do samples in house or if you do them overseas. But
I do them overseas. But I did some here, but you know, I just didn't want to put something on a blank, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, you know, that's not being true to what the brand is about. So I have to just be patient with it. And then my wife, we're different in that sense. Like, I don't mind riding the wave and just like, you know, we're progressing every day, but it takes time. But she's more of like quick results. So she's like, hey, what's going on? She's used to doing merch and just like, boom, dropping it. But see, that's not what this brand's about. And then she has her own stuff, but Activate is basically us coming together and doing a brand without our name on it, but it's us behind it.
Yeah.
So it is hard because you're basically having to ask for like opinions, and then like everything is good. And with anything that you do cut and sew, bro, you got to follow that shit through the whole entire. It's not good until it lands on your doorstep. And then on top of that, like, does it even fit right? Quality control, is it consistent? We've had like there was a kids drop we were gonna do literally immediately after we dropped that first drop. We had that exact same thing in kids, and then when it got here, it didn't fit. Like every single size from 2T to 5T was damn near the same.
Swear.
So it never like went up. So we lost out. So like people don't know about that, but that's why we had, that was like the first hiccup, you know, we started off good, fell on top, and then boom, we just got slapped with that.
Yeah.
So it's hard, you know, but, you know, it's something that we both love to do. And, you know, like nowadays, bro, I mean, girls, they could wear the oversized tees, they could wear a flannel, they could wear like all that stuff, you know, poly like shorts, mesh shorts, whatever.
What's funny is Raylene literally like barely getting into like wearing more oversized stuff and more comfortable stuff, and like
a little more girly before.
Yeah, I changed her a little bit because before I met her, she probably would have never put on cargo pants like that. It's funny because I just noticed you guys probably have the same exact cargo pants on, literally.
Yep. And that's what's in right now, you know, like I keep telling her, because my girl, she's more simple, but she could dress up, you know, and then most of the time she likes to be comfortable. But I'm like, dude, I mean, the next drop does have some oversized tees.
So you gonna have to model it.
It does have some shorts. It does have like some other stuff. I don't want to say too much, but we are introducing more girl stuff, so that way the girls are more like open to trying it. But it's mixed matching though. Like you could wear whatever we do for the girls with the tee, and it's gonna look fire. So and then plus everybody's into the shoes right now, so it's you know.
Yeah, we actually have some some shoe samples that are crazy.
Oh, okay, you guys are actually doing the shoes, yeah. So in general, people are just into matching whatever clothes they see with the kicks, like the Dunks or the New Balances or the J's, whatever it is that they want to do. But you know, I think it's crazy that a lot of people don't know how to dress, so you have to be kind of like mindful of that when you are doing clothes, because you want to do colors. They like to just easy shit like sets, matching, and it makes them feel like, okay, I got a dope fit on. Yeah. But on the streetwear side, I really like to attract, because the guys, you know, we're picky a little bit. So I'm trying to do some of the stuff that's coming out. So we got some good stuff coming up. So
because our shit is a lot more expensive than girl stuff.
It is, bro, for real.
They can be like, oh, I kind of like this, but I really don't. But I'm still gonna get it just because it's only $10.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, fuck, this shirt is $120. Do I really want it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, for real. That's facts. It's funny because I went to get some shoes, right, and I'm barely getting back into the shoe game because for a long time I stopped caring about it because it was just like, okay, I don't need to buy that, you know. But now I'm getting back into it. I got some shirts, but I paid like $120 for $150 at Live for some mesh shorts. And it's funny because when we dropped Act of Faith, everybody was saying like, yo, it's expensive. Why? You know? So you got to really explain the why to them, you know? But once they got the stuff, they were like, okay, this shit's good. But it's crazy to me because I just like the stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll pay $150. Or a shirt was $100. People don't realize like how expensive like the nice stuff is,
this
you know?
Good quality, bro. Like when you get to a point where you're like looking at these big brands, other than like fucking Supreme or like that shit, it's expensive too, but it's like they're just slapping their shit on Hanes t-shirts.
Literally, no, yeah. I have seen some that, you know, now when I'm doing these things, that when I go to stores, I'm like, okay.
Even like Pleasures and like this is a Pleasures flannel.
That's nice.
And like this is a nice flannel, like
for sure.
But Pleasures like tees, they look like the all style tees, and they're priced at $80 a tee or whatever. And like when you get to a certain point with your brand, I feel like those people have gotten to a certain point with their brand where they're just like, well, we put the name on it, so
whatever they drop is gonna hit.
Is.
Yeah. And I mean, this time around, I've paid attention. Trust me, like we're trying to find a middle ground with certain items, and eventually with Act of Faith, it's more so like just creating like some standards that people could always go to. And you know, I'm a simple guy; she's a simple girl too when it comes to like design. So now we're starting to get into the graphics too, where we do want to put graphics on a shirt, but it has to be the right placement and the colors and stuff. And eventually we create a product that works, and we just keep restocking in different colors and whatnot. But I mean, it's just, you know, I just finished basically what I wanted to drop for the summer, and I'm already doing like the installment for the fall, winter. Like people don't realize how long you got to do this shit ahead of time to make it kind of like work and put everything together. A full collection too at that, not just a shirt. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's cool that you're kind of into that too, because we get to like touch on that. People get to see why. But
yeah,
are you guys still dropping stuff on that brand or no?
Yeah, we're like, we just dropped our second drop. Like we're still like super brand new. So we just dropped our second drop like a week ago. Doing pretty good. And then we're already like, we already have stuff like lined up until like January next year.
Okay, cool. So, yeah. So it's a couple of you guys.
Yeah.
That helps too, man. Cause I mean, shit right now, I mean, my wife, she does have the input, but a lot of it is me behind it, and then we present it, and it's like, shit, do you like it or not? You know, so and then you know, but it helps because a girl's touch is important for real. Like I feel like I like to really consider like her opinion with stuff, because like she knows, and most of the time girls do spend more money than guys. Like even if the guy ain't buying it, the girl's buying it for the guy. Yeah. You know, so it just depends on the delivery and stuff, but that's cool. Other than that, man, like other than the music and the clothing, like what are some other things that, I mean, I guess you can say hobbies, things that maybe people don't know that you like?
I golf a lot. How's that? I just broke my collarbone though, like 3 weeks ago.
No way.
So I just had surgery.
Through that?
What was that?
Through golfing?
No, I flipped a Can-Am.
Oh, shoot. That's right. Yeah, actually, that's what I was going to mention to you. I know that you were posting about the accident, man. So let's talk about that. I think that's something people wanted to kind of see. I think sometimes posting on the stories and posts, I mean, they don't really understand like the process of it. So just kind of explain that situation.
Yeah, we took it out. Like it was literally just like we weren't expecting. Like it was a dirt trail. Like it wasn't like there was flat ground to where we can go. It wasn't dunes. It was just trails. It was my uncle's Can-Am, so we were just like, let's just take it for a ride really quick. We weren't doing nothing crazy. I just turned left. We were not going fast at all, bro. Like tops, 15 miles an hour? Like we were not going fast at all. And
where was this at? In Arizona?
In Globe. Yeah, it was like up east in a city called Globe. And we hit like this boulder, bro, and it flipped the shit. And like we fell so slow-mo.
To the right or left?
Yeah, to the right. And I didn't have my seatbelt on.
Shit.
So I go like once, and I didn't even fly like when we flipped. I flied when we impacted, like when we.
As soon as you hit.
Yeah, as soon as we hit, I just went straight down and like I landed right next to her. I busted my head open with the rear view mirror.
Oh shit.
And then when I think I landed, like I think I got knocked out, bro, on the way down because I didn't like feel anything until like I looked back and she was right behind me. So I think I blacked out for like a split second, and then I think I hit my shoulder, and when I hit my shoulder, I came at such an impact that it just split it into like 3 pieces. And there was speaking of hate comments, bro, there were so many comments like talking about like, you guys are parents, you guys do not need to not have your seatbelt on, you guys need to set a good example. And I'm like, bro, first off, y'all need to chill out.
Yeah.
Number 2, we were taking it around the corner, and yes, I feel like everybody should have their seatbelt on 24/7. We do. We wear our seatbelt in every vehicle.
Yeah.
But it was just that 1 second that we weren't. And we weren't thinking about it, which we shouldn't need to apologize for it because the girls weren't with us.
Yeah.
It was me, my brother, her, and my brother's girlfriend. And it was just an unlucky situation. And I'm glad that it happened to me.
And it was just you driving. Guys, right? Not your brother.
Yeah. No, my brother.
All of you guys.
It was my brother, his girlfriend, and then me and Raylene. And I'm happy that it happened to me and not, them, because I was the one driving. And so
so it was all 4 of you guys in one car.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were in the back seats, and then we were in the front. And it's funny because I make a joke because all of their phones cracked, but my phone didn't.
You're like, but your collarbone cracked.
Yeah, exactly. So
hey man, I mean, it could have been worse. Like that's just.
I'm definitely blessed because I hit right here and I hit right here. Like I'm happy I didn't hit my neck, because if I would have hit my neck, I probably would have either broken it or got killed. Like.
Yeah, for real, man. That's just dangerous. Anything like that.
I'm definitely not getting on one of those again. I learned my lesson. So
you're probably scarred from.
If y'all are sitting behind the screen right now talking about, did you learn his lesson? I did.
We're answering all questions right now. Any doubts? Now we went to Cabo actually, and we were on some ATVs, but my girl was like, "Stop going fast," So
dude, those things are fucking scary, bro.
Yeah, for real. I mean, especially because you don't know what you're gonna hit on the way. They clear the trail for you, but sometimes one of the guys that we were with, he was like, hey, like let's go a little bit faster. He's like, I'm not supposed to, but we'll do it. Just, hopefully they don't fire that guy. But we ended up doing it, and that shit was like kind of intense,
Yeah, no, those things, it's no joke. Like people lose their life on those things every single day.
Yeah, man. But
so, I mean, you just got to be smart on those. And it's funny because around the corner from our house, they have like these, it's not around, it's like 25 minutes from our house, but there's like a dirt field, and like every weekend, all like the Mexicans and stuff, like they go out there and like party and shit. Everybody has Can-Ams and they play like banda music and shit like that. And it's crazy, bro. Like, and I'm just thinking like, bro, I don't even want to know the type of shit that happens there, because I know at least one Can-Am is flipped every single time they go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's at night. They go at night.
Oh yeah, they do the night thing. No, it's big. It's big.
They probably do them out here too.
Yeah, in certain part. The Can-Ams, like they're popular in the Mexican community. Like even the artists that sing Mexican music, you see them in their videos and stuff.
Facts.
I've never gotten any one of those. I think they had them when we did go to Cabo, but we just did the individual ones, But either way, that's just dangerous. So we don't really do anything like that. So that's kind of like one of your guys' hobbies though before the accident.
No, like we never used to, like we never are in Can-Ams. But I mean, my hobby is like golf, and I play Warzone, and then I have so much different, like just fucking weekly hobbies. Like I'll go and spend a bunch of money on something, and I'll do it for like a couple days, and then I'll be on to the next thing. It's like, it's a bad habit, but I'd rather do that than being outside and spending a bunch of like stupid money on a bottle at the club. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys drink like at all?
I don't drink. Like I don't drink at all.
Smoke, nothing like that.
I don't drink or smoke at all.
That's good, man. I've been trying to. My wife doesn't drink anymore. Like she used to drink, and then we just were like, okay, she had her gallbladder removed, whatever. Like that was just like the sign, like, yo, stop doing this, you know?
Oh, was it like damaging it or?
Yeah, well, she was just getting a lot of pain. Like a lot of people say when they remove that, you get, you know, like pain when you drink. Something triggers it pretty much. So she's starting to learn like what triggers her. She doesn't really take medicine, so she can't take stuff to help it. Like she's just always been scared to take medicine. Yeah. But now, you know, like that was just the initial, like, okay, like you're not drinking no more. And now that's helped me not even drink, because I'm more of a casual drinker. But if you're there and we do it, we'll do it. But it's not something I enjoy like really like all the way, you know?
Yeah, no, it's a different type of breed for the people that are like getting drunk every single day and shit.
Yeah,
that's a different breed, bro.
Yeah, I can't do that. That's too much. Like it's funny because I was just back home. One of my boys, he was like, all right, let's go get a drink or something. I'm like, for what? Like, what are we celebrating like that? Like, I'm not going to just go drink one thing. Like, exactly. I have to be doing something for real, or out somewhere to where, like, I can do it freely, especially in terms of responsibility, like with the kids. I just don't like to be, aside from waking up hungover and shit like that. I mean, it's not something that's, you know, it's bad for even health-wise, you know? So I'm just, like, trying to cut down on any of that if it's not necessary. But, you know, I like to kind of like work out, kind of trying to get him back into that more and just try to hit some new goals, you know, and make some better decisions and choices and stuff like that. So we'll just kind of end it with that, man. So, you know, I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me for sure.
Everybody check out your album. What's your favorite song on the album?
London.
How does it go? Give me the hook at least.
Let's go on a run. Let's fly to London. Yeah, it's fire.
I can't put the beat out here, but yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out myself.
It's fire though. It's a fire record.
But like I said, thank you for coming. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Maybe next time. I know people are gonna enjoy this episode, so we'll definitely bring the girls.
Oh yeah, let's you know, that'll be fire. A couples podcast.
Yeah,
because they get them started up a little
she's
bit.
Gonna be inspired to like do her little business stuff. You guys are young, man, so it's just important for you guys to be around the right people and the right energy and stuff like that. We're big on all that kind of stuff. So I know you guys will do great things. Let's do the little.
On camera?
Yeah, on camera. So basically, this wall here where people write, it's your signature and something you live by. So just some message you want to kind of like let the people know about. As you see, there's some on there. So
what should I put?
She's gonna be like, put my name on there. Not playing. Right? That's something my wife will say. Get you on a boomerang real quick.
I'm gonna just say, I live by pay attention to your surroundings.
Ooh, I like that.
Or I'm gonna just put pay attention. Boom. What's the date?
May. What is it?
Boom. Pay attention.
That's
Pay attention to your surroundings in this world because it's crazy out here.
Yes, sir. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. It feels good being back and doing a new one.
I got him out of retirement.
Got me out of retirement. I thought I was done. Appreciate you, man. I feel inspired to do more. Like I said, I've been trying to figure out a way, even if I don't have a guest, I really want to be more active with the YouTube. So I feel like I'm going to just start doing like mini episodes. If you guys made it this far, you guys are some real G's, because not a lot of people sit through over 40 minutes and are open to learning something, because that's really what the podcast is about, you know? So
exactly.
That's why it's the Needed Podcast. And eventually I think I want to do like some mini episodes and just drop them like twice a week, and just to get people like lessons of the day, anything that we live through. I feel like we
do like a Patreon too. Like
yeah. That's something eventually that I've been actually looking at, but it's just more so building the community, and then that way you have the people to do it with. But I have something like that set up. It's just more so like making the time to be serious about it, you know. But I appreciate you. You know, like I said, I'm inspired to do more of these things. And
thank you for having me.
Like I said, Young Reece.
Remember
the name. Check out the album. I'm gonna tag all their info down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Boom.